Hi and welcome to lesson number 6. Today I talk about the level of confirmation. Important to understand in the whole context of a customer journey. As you know, the whole framework, the 7 levels of conversion, are following kind of the mental customer journey that all your customers have in their mind before they convert. So, deconstructing a website experience with framework so we can make better hypotheses. Today we talk about confirmation. Before we talk about the level of confirmation, let's remember your assignment to make a list of the top 10 objections of your customers. It's important to know them because only if you know them, you can work on these objections. And we talked about convenience and about this checklist. So again, Bank of America did not work so well. Basically, when we ask all these questions, finally they end up with a score of 5 out of 45 points, which means 11%. And I will tell you later what that means. So now let's focus on the next level. It's called confirmation, which means from a customer perspective, customers are always asking themselves, did I do the right things? Let's just imagine you just spent 80K for a car. You bought a used, not a brand new. You bought a used Maserati. So on one hand, you're saying, yeah, System 1, saying, what a great car. But of course, a couple of days later, you're checking your bank account and yeah, 80K are missing. So System 2 asks, was that really needed? Have I been sold on that idea of buying that car emotionally? So what's happening here? System 2 always kind of tries to stay awake. So it tries to make sure that your mind is not completely on autopilot on System 1 and makes funny things that maybe don't make a sense. So this is why System 2 searches for confirmation that what you did is really the best thing you could do. Basically, you can think of it as like a system. You do an action, System 2 is staying awake, searching for confirmation that this was the right thing to do. You do the next step of action, you get a back confirmation. But additionally, the system is asking, is the whole journey so far the right thing to do? So basically, it means when we think about our Rubicon model, it means we're having a lot of micro actions, and each of these micro actions end with a confirmation stage where System 2 asks, was that the right thing to do? It means just clicking one link, going to the next page. These are micro actions. So based on our model, each click, each action is based on that Rubicon model. Each click is a little Rubicon. And these little clicks are part of a bigger customer journey, which means I buy a car. And of course, the whole website experience is like a Rubicon model. But now things get really complicated because that not only happens on your website, your customers maybe are using also competitor websites. So your page, competitor website, then finally I decide to do something. I will maybe get my car or I will get my delivery, my package. I will unwrap it, right? This is the moment of the highest emotional expectation. Also there, I will search for confirmation that this was the right thing to do. So you could say the whole buying process is a Rubicon model wrapped inside more Rubicon models. Always ends with this confirmation phase. I know, sounds complicated, but when you see what real salespeople do when they sold that Maserati to you, they will tell you, wow, Mr. Whatever, that was a good decision because you will be very happy with that car. It will do this and that to you. So basically, you will not end up with this moment where you're checking your bank account with minus 80K. Okay, you will, as soon as you have the car, find a confirmation for the reasons that the salesperson implanted in your head when you bought it, right? So you will come home with a car and you will realize, yes, it has plenty of space in the trunk. Wow, that's a good, rational reason to buy the car. And he told me, yeah, the new model has better efficiency, needs less fuel than the model before. You will see that fueling up the car. And say, yeah, that was good. And interest rates, they're very low today, right? They might go up each day. It was a good decision to buy it today. And you see tomorrow interest rate goes up. Yeah, I did the right thing. What am I talking about? Salespeople giving good reasons, rationally good reasons, as a confirmation for your action. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you get the feeling that you have been sold on only emotional things. You made something stupid. You might give it back. What happens, for example, in e-commerce? As I said, one of the emotionally most important point of looking for confirmation is unwrapping your package, right? This is emotionally very important moment. What happens in most of the times when you unwrap your package? The bill is the first thing you see. And this is exactly the thing where you have the feeling that, maybe it wasn't such a good idea. So what can you do on a website to confirm to System 2 that things you do are the right one? Let's start again with a practical example. Let's assume you're planning a spontaneous trip to Oslo tomorrow. I don't know why. Let's just think about it. So website number 1, let's differentiate between System 1, you remember Kahneman, emotional feelings, rapid implicit perception of the website. What do you feel when you see that website? This is System 1. I would say first impression looks complicated. And the question is, what does System 2 think on a rational level after you completed your first analysis of the website? What are you reading? What are the things you're perceiving with System 2? I read a warning. The selected date is less than 24 hours before departure. Uh-oh, this is a problem. I see this little information. Please select whatever. So I see a lot of problems. So System 1 complicated, System 2 problems. Maybe I won't spend that much time with that website. Another website, Kayak, same thing. I want to go from Boston to Oslo. What is my first impression for System 1? I don't see that many problems here. I even get each of these suggestions like a little additional view if I hover with the mouse on it. So for System 2, I see a lot of confirmation that this website prevents me from being tricked by wrong prices of the airlines, right? So it says explicitly, this flight includes €0 fees for paying with a credit card. And it says this website is able to tell me that now this is a good time to buy now. Prices might go up. And it says it even prevents me for being tricked with hidden fees from the airline. So first impression from System 1, maybe functional, not very sexy, not emotionally something where I think, wow, but it's very functional. And for System 2, the message is you can save money. We prevent you from being tricked with fees and whatever. Same here for Booking.com. Analyze what System 1 feeling, what System 2. System 1 feeling, I would say a lot of colors, looks like discount, cheap. Look at all the messages that are especially for System 2. All these messages tell me it makes sense to book today. Look here, great price for your upcoming stay. Prices might go up. This area is telling me book now, jackpot, cheapest price, good breakfast. There are a lot of System 2 rational reasons to book now. This is the messaging window at Booking.com. All the messages coming up one time after the other. And look again, System 2 is addressed here. Great choice, almost done, great location, good rating, right? Also a rational argument. So a lot of reasons, as I said, like the car salesman giving me a reason, so I won't regret the buy. here, the same thing. A lot of rational reasons that are given. And again, now you see scarcity, emotional, system 1. You see how the website plays with system 1 and system 2. System 1, scarcity, urgency, buy now. System 2, you're doing the right thing. Well done, great choice, Andre, and so on. So, perfect example of how system 1 and system 2 are interacting with each other. That's why I say Booking.com is much more than just an example of using scarcity. It's like a well-arranged opera with all these little things that work brilliantly together. This is an accident layer saying, almost yours, just some more details and you're done. And also inline validation, filling in forms, very boring, but it says, yeah, you do the right thing. First name, well done. Second name, well done. Why is that important? Also, look at the theory of flow. A guy with an unpronounceable name, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, whatever. He created this model some time ago saying, boredom is something that creates negative feelings. If something I have to do, and it's not challenging, I just have to do it, that doesn't feel very well. And also, if something is too complicated, I develop anxiety. I also don't like that. So somewhere in between is that small path that you could call flow, where people forget time and what they have to do and are fully concentrated to their work. So if we're working with fun and positive feedback, we are eliminating anxiety. If we do things like inline validation and we are confirming with system 2 that people do the right thing, we're working against boredom. So at least I did something that's the right thing to do. So that's the theory and the model and how it looks like on best practices. Now, what could you do on your website? Again, ask yourself these questions. Do I show rationally good reasons for buying, right? Not only playing the emotional game of selling things, but do I give rational reasons for system 2? Why is it the right thing? You can use micro feedback like inline validation, little green check marks, and of course, add a thank you page. The conversion is not really finished. For you, maybe the online part of the conversion is finished, but always remember people will receive some service, goods, package, whatever. Make sure the bill is not the invoice is not the thing that is the first thing they discover. And of course, you can use, again, fun micro interaction to give positive feedbacks. If things are fun, always people feel much more comfortable. It's a way out of boredom and into the flow. Good. So, as I said, you can put a little thank you flyer in your package or delivery or some goods. If we look at the Bank of America website, don't forget, this is our example. You see, again, no, not so much. Only 2 little rational reasons. The amount of ATMs I have when I have a bank account at Bank of America gives 2 out of 20 points, 10%. So, because we have some time left, I'd like to tell you how can we see heuristic evaluation in the context of an optimization program. In the first lesson, I talked about different methods you're using to analyze your website, user research, and so on. And of course, you want to create a result. You want to create a conversion. You're using A/B testing and so on. So in the bigger context, we are talking about analyzing user goals and aligning them with our business goals. This is what we call a conversion. So in my model called the growth canvas, this is the center. And you see in the middle a lot of possibilities to analyze user goals. Heuristic evaluation and persuasion is one way of doing it. We also talked about other things you can do in this so-called analyze stage. After you found all these weak points or optimization potentials, of course, you have limited possibility to, you cannot test everything, right? So you have to prioritize. Where should I start? And then you build your experiments and then you measure and then you learn. And if you're a great optimizer, you will have a plan. You know, this all costs money and gives you some ROI. You need the right skills, the right culture, the right organization. I don't want to go in too deep into that things. What I want to emphasize is this is part of a bigger plan. And in this analyze stage, where we are right now, we talked about personas. Personas are extremely raising the validity of your results. We talked about user research, which is a good complementary perspective on your website. And also we talked about analytics. Highly valid data, if you can align it with user behavior, it's very valuable. So all these is in your mix of methods you might use to create tons of great ideas to optimize your website. And the more skills you have here, the better ideas you develop. And this you can put in your backlog, learn how to prioritize, and then just build better experiments than your competitors. So what we were talking about when we looked at the framework, first we want more objective results. We don't want gut feeling when we analyze websites. So this framework delivers some guidance. We assure we don't miss anything. We try to make sure that what you find out is not based on your subjective. We talked about adding personas for more customer centricity. We talked about doing user research, or something that is a very good complementary methodology. And of course, we can use analytics data to pre-qualify hypotheses. This is like the bigger picture where you find expert or heuristic expert evaluation as one element in the overall landscape of optimization. Now that we went through all the levels and you were able to practically use the framework to analyze your website, to deconstruct your website into these different elements, just think about it. Did you now find things that maybe haven't been visible to you before? Do you think that some of these levels are more important than others of the model? And the thing is, do you see on some areas a higher potential for optimization than on other levels? These are some answers you should give now, or you should be able to give now. Now you weren't able to do that before. So this is something where you can think about. Looking forward to your answers. In the next and final lesson, we will talk about how to use that framework strategically. So looking forward to seeing you again in the next lesson.